Welcome back to Designsmith. Today I'm going to be improvising a Shoegaze album cover for the band Blushing. This is easily one of my favorite Shoegaze bands, and they just released a new album called Sugarcoat about a week ago. It came out while we were on vacation at the beach, so that was just perfect timing. It's a great album, and I highly recommend that you check it out. And just a heads up, I am seeing Slowdive in concert tonight. I cannot wait, so keep an eye out for a poster that I'll be making tomorrow. Before we get started, please consider subscribing to support the channel. So here is the album cover for their album Sugarcoat. It's very similar in design to their last album, Possessions, which is totally fine. It's a fantastic design and very colorful, but I can't help but wonder, what if they went a completely different direction? Now, I understand they have to keep on brand, and they definitely want to have some kind of consistency going from one album cover to the next, but the gears in my brain just got turning, and I just wonder what would happen if I improvise something completely from scratch. So I think the first thing I'll do is paste this inside of this canvas right here, and just so you know, I'm designing at 12 1/4 by 12 1/4 at full 300 resolution if you want to do something similar. So I think we can do something really cool in using these same colors here. And this little technique goes back many years from me, but this may be something brand new for you, so I definitely want to show it to you. So I'm going to go over here to my rectangular marquee tool. I'm going to press and hold down on the mouse, and I'm going to go right here to single column marquee tool. And you can just click wherever you want really, but I'm looking for an area that covers the most amount of colors. The first thing I'm going to do is enlarge this all the way up to probably right here. And with my single column marquee tool still selected, I'm going to click on an area probably right here. And that's got good coverage. We've got blue, red, the dark blue, white, pink, yellow. We've got all of the colors covered that are in this album cover. All right, so now I'm going to hit Command or Control J on my keyboard, and now we will hide the album cover itself. And as you can see, we have this really thin sliver right here. So all we're going to do here is we're going to hit Command or Control T, and I'm just going to hover right here. I'm going to hold down Shift, and then we're going to bring this like this, going all the way from left to right, and just hit Enter, and then that will fill in all of those colors right there. So we're still using the same exact colors from the album cover, but with a completely different application. And if you want to make these slanted, go ahead and hit Command or Control T on your keyboard, hold down Shift till we get to maybe 30 or 45 degrees, depending on whatever you want to do. And now I'm going to hold down Option or Alt and Shift, and that's going to allow me to expand this horizontally only. And that's actually pretty cool. I like these blank areas right here. So what I might do is add a solid color layer and fill it with black. In fact, I may actually lighten that up just a little bit, just in case I want to add any kind of effects here. We want to make sure that the effects are shown in those black areas as well. All right, so what can we do to give this design a little bit more complexity? Well, there's many different things we can do, but one thing I'm going to do real quick, just out of experimentation, is hit Command J, and that's going to duplicate the layer that I've already got selected, which is this layer right here. And I'm just going to play. So let's go to Filter, Blur, and Motion Blur. And 2000 pixels is definitely way too much. Let's take it down to about 100, and let's change the angle to be opposite of what our rotation was. I'll probably go up to about 200. Let me play with this angle just a little bit more, just kind of see if there's anything more that we can do here, just to kind of give it a little bit more of a blurry feel. I think I'll go with -45 and hit OK. So I'm going to turn off the top layer and just show the bottom layer. And as you can see, it's really murked out a lot of the colors here. And that's fine, actually. We can change our blending mode to kind of bring back some of the brightness in those colors. So if we go to Lighten, it brings back the lightness, but it also gives it a really nice glow effect. Screen is cool too. It definitely brightens it up. However, it turns down the vibrancy. Color dodge is very interesting and very retro. Lighter color brings out a lot of those saturated colors while toning down the brightness. So there's a lot of things that we can do here, but I think I'm going to go with Lighten because it just kind of gives a little bit of an extra glow there just to add a little bit more layer to the design. And now I'm just going to Command J again, and let's bring this up to the top. And I'm going to hit Command T, and I'm going to flip it horizontal because why not? And what if we did this? What if we invert the colors like this? And now we can change our blending modes, and now we've got a really cool pattern going on here. The Lighten is really cool, Screen is really cool, Color Dodge is awesome. This looks like the inside of a prism or something like that. I'll probably end up going with that, but I just want to see what my other options are. Vivid Light is very nice. Divide is really cool. This is definitely giving me some Roller Coaster Tycoon vibes to anybody out there who played that game years ago, or are still playing it now through OpenRCT. I think I'm going to go with Vivid Light. I like the balance between the lights and the darks. Okay, so inverting the colors, changing the direction, and then changing from normal to vivid light has definitely taken away some of the saturation that I want. So I'm going to create a new adjustment layer for my layers panel. I'm going to go to hue and saturation, and we can just make this over the master, so it's going to cover all of the colors. And I'm just going to brighten up the saturation, probably up to about 50 or so. And it's a real subtle change, but look at it before and look at it after. The overall saturation of the colors doesn't change much, but a lot of those outliers do, especially in the dark areas, so it's really going to make a difference there. All right, so I'm going to hit Command J again from our regular layer. I'm going to move this all the way to the top, and I'm just going to play again. So let's go to Filter, Filter Gallery, and what can we do here? There's a lot of different things that we can do. So I decided to go with watercolor just to give it a little bit more of a texture, especially in those straight lines. So I went with a brush detail of 10, shadow intensity of 0, and a texture of 3. And I like this, so I'm going to hit OK. And it's a real subtle change. Let's look at before and after. So it's definitely giving us some good contrast in those darker areas and also preserving those lighter areas. So because we want to change up the direction a little bit, I'm going to hit Command T, right click, and go to Flip Vertical. So now we've got some interesting layering going on here. Of course, we can't see that layering because we need to change our blending modes. And when you're doing something like this, you want to make sure the work that you've already done is visible through what you just did. So there's a lot of interesting options here that are all looking really cool, but I think that my favorite is Linear Dodge Add. And the brights in here are very dramatic, so what I'm going to do is double click on my very top layer here, and let's use the Blend If tool, and we'll leave gray selected. So let's go to current layer, and I'm going to grab both of these little bars, and we'll just kind of tone it down just a little bit, just so those darker areas can shine through a little bit more. And I'm pretty happy with the way this is going. However, I'd like to add just a little bit more movement here. So I think I'll just randomly select this layer right here. There's not really any rhyme or reason to it. And I'm going to go up here to Filter, Distort, and Wave. So there's a lot of different things you can do with the Wave tool, and I just want to give a little bit more of movement of what's going on underneath those layers. And that's really cool there. We've got some really cool waveforms going on, and it's following the pattern of the lines that we've got established here. Part of me wonders what would happen if we applied that same wave distortion to all of our layers. So let's hit a randomize again, hit OK. That's looking really cool. However, we would definitely need to go in and kind of cover up some of the pixelation that's happening there. And I'm just going to play for a little bit. So I went in and tried a couple of the other layers, but the problem is that they were all becoming too uniform with each other. So I think that this combination of the straight lines with the wave patterns is going to work perfectly. So let's zoom in really quickly and let's take care of this pixelation that's going on. You can see a lot of that right there. And the way that we have to go about it is a little bit on the complex side. Because of the way that this layer is interacting with all the layers below it and the blending style, what we have to do is rasterize this layer as its own layer and remove that blend if that we applied earlier. But it still has to have it. How do you go about doing this? Well, it's very simple. All we have to do is hit Command or Control J, and that's going to double up this layer. So what we're going to do is we're going to uncheck this one right here, and now select both of these and hit Command or Control E. And that's going to merge both of these layers together and completely change our colors. And it is looking really cool, but we don't want to lose everything that we've done. So let's change this back to Linear Dodge Add. You can see the pixelation is still there, but now we can actually get rid of it using a blur tool. So let's go up here to Filter, Blur, and Gaussian Blur. And here it is with a 0.1, and here is a 1.0. I'm just going to keep on going until a lot of that pixelation is gone, but we can still retain what we did earlier. So there we go. It's still all there, but now with none of the pixelation that we had before. All right, well, this is looking really cool. Let's go ahead and compare the actual album cover with what we've done here. So a completely different vibe using all of the same colors. And let's top it off by adding some text here. Depending on what we end up doing, 35 should be a good size there. That's a good area right there. I think it's nice and legible. And now I just want to go in here and change the font. This is a cool one. I like this one. So let's double click on this and let's add a little outer glow here of white. This can be nice and subtle, doesn't have to be crazy. Just enough to fill in those darker areas, especially the purple. All right, so I'm gonna hold down Option or Alt and Shift and bring this down here. The name of the album is Sugarcoat, and we will make this about half the size. And I actually like the fact that that glow is sitting on top of the blushing. That's really cool. All right, so now I'm gonna select both of these layers and group them together. Go up here to View, Guides, and New Guide Layout. I should have done this from the very beginning. And this will put this perfectly within a very safe area for printing. So there it is, our Blushing Sugarcoat album cover, completely improvised using the colors that are on the actual album cover itself. So we're still representing the same feel. This design definitely has a really cool summer vibe to it. I really hope you enjoyed watching me make this album cover today. If you wouldn't mind, please consider subscribing to support the channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.